What is up, everybody? William Huffman with RE/MAX Results, a Good Life group based out of Loring Park, Minnesota. Top 1% for RE/MAX in the world. Coach, blah, blah, blah. Badass listing agent. All that cool stuff. Thanks for joining me today. All right, let's jump right into it. Let's talk about, should I sell my home? When does the spring market start? I don't know when to list. Blah. So I was literally just asked, do you think that the start of the spring market is right after the Super Bowl? Answer is yes. Video over. Hit. Stop. I'm just kidding. No, I really do. And why do I think that? Well, first of all, the last 10 years has shown me that. But I'm going to break it down for you. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Super Bowl. Those are the 4 holidays that people get together for. And after those 4 holidays, there's nothing really to like Easter and stuff like that, right? But that's when you go to church and Palm Sunday and hit you in the face with some stuff. But that's the Super Bowl is the last big event of the quote unquote year, even though it's the new year. Calendars, science, math, whatever. Time is a construct of your mind. It's all made up. There is some logic to that. Like a black hole, like the closer you get to a black hole, time slows down. It's weird. But we're not in a black hole. We're in Minnesota. It's freaking freezing now. It's like -10 right now. So it's the exact opposite of a black. I don't know if black holes are cold because it's in space. Okay, we're way off track. Back to when you should sell your house. So as a listing agent, and I am a primary listing agent, I work with buyers, and I love working with buyers, but I love bringing a property to market. And I do get asked all the time, well, when should I list my home? There's multiple answers to that question. And it really is specific to you and your scenario. The only bad time to sell is when you have to, okay? If you don't have to sell, there's no such thing as a real bad time. There are times that are more optimal than others. So if you're in a 6-bedroom, 5-bathroom, 4,000 square foot house with 4 garages in a school district that's very desirable, I probably wouldn't be listing in November and December. I just wouldn't, because statistics and logic would dictate that somebody moving into that home may or may not have children that would need to time it properly with schools. So there are some logistics when it comes to like timing of schools. Now that's not everything. Because that 6-bedroom, 5-bathroom, 4,000 square foot house with 4 garages in an area that is desirable for schools is probably $800,000 plus. So price matters, location matters, school district matters, size of the home matters, bed bath count matters. All that matters. So I'm going to give you some of the more common scenarios because there's literally thousands and thousands and thousands of scenarios out there. The answer is depends. So not that it's all about price, okay? Because I just listed a $500,000 home in Red Wing, Minnesota that, guess what? 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 3,500 square foot, 3-car garage, sold in 24 hours and multiple offers. But William, didn't you just say? I did, but guess what? Their scenario is different because guess how much inventory is in Red Wing in that price range, in that condition, with that many beds and baths? 0, because it just sold. That's actually a lie. I have one coming on this weekend. So if you're, it depends on when this video comes out. Got another 550 in Red Wing coming up. But don't you work in Minneapolis? No, my office is in Minneapolis. I work wherever my homies need me. Make that note in your head there. Once again, specific around that. Now, what if it's a condo? I'm sorry, you're screwed. Condos suck right now. I mean that with all the love in the world. We just sold our condo. We had it for 18 years. And my wife and I have only been together for 11 and a half years. So she had it before me. And now I'm the longest thing in her life besides her parents. I'm coming for you, Nance. Did I just threaten my mother-in-law? I did, but I love her. That's cool. She actually does watch my videos, so she might see that. Sarah doesn't. Condos, you're screwed. Like there's so many HIAs happening. There's so many assessments happening. The insurance absolutely sucks. We're listing a condo where everything in the building's been on the market for 2 years and they're at 150. Neighbors are going to be pissed. We're fire selling ours at 115 because she has to get out of there. She has to sell. So we're fire selling it at 115. That's going to screw the value of everybody in the building. It's horrible. Condos suck. I am sorry. Townhomes, depend upon where you are. There's executive townhomes. There's 1-level townhomes. There's 55 plus townhomes. 55 plus communities. Oof. This is going to say this sensitively. People pass away all the time. It's very sad. I totally get it. There's a cycle of inventory constantly in those areas, so I would not be scared to put that on the market at any point in time. People move for 6 reasons: death, divorce, diamonds, degrees, diapers, and dogs. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Death, divorce, diapers, degrees, diamonds, and dogs. Those are why people move. And in those communities, passing away, death is one of the reasons that inventory becomes available. Now, say you have a starter home in Bloomington, Minnesota, a Bloomington Rambler. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom on the main level. And then it's going to be downstairs. There might be a rec room. There might be a prison toilet. And there's a laundry room. And what's a prison toilet? It's where there's just a shitter just right next to the wash machine. It's a prison toilet. Like, everybody gets to see what's going on. It's awkward. I get it. But so that price point's anywhere between $275 and $350. I'd list that on December 24th, Christmas Eve. I'd share that day with Jesus' birthday, because that price point is going to, that is Jesus the 25th. I do whatever here or there. The reason I say that, and that's a bit of an exaggeration, but not really, because that price point in that area, in that demand is through the roof. There's a pent up demand. And I should probably talk about that a little bit too. Markets change so drastically, so quickly. We don't know that it's happened until it's already happened. Anybody who says they can time the market's a freaking liar. So how we see a market is by the lagging indicators. So lagging indicators are how many closings there are, what interest rates are, and all that stuff. The leading indicators, we can guess what they are, like how many new listings are coming on the market, how many listings are expiring, what the churn rate is in certain areas. There's a lot of things that we can look at for leading indicators, but it's almost impossible to see where we're at until we get the lagging indicators. And by the time we get those, it's already happened. I mean, 2022 was a clustered mirror. Halfway through the year, rates shot to 8. Nobody knew that was going to happen. And if they said, I knew it was going to happen, okay, even the sun shines on a squirrel's ass every now and then, like, right? It's like, it just happens. It's dog ass, technically. Whatever, however the saying goes, just fix this thing. I don't care, but people get lucky, right? But all in all, if you think you're going to time the market, the answer is no. There are people who have been sitting on the sidelines for the last 24 to 36 months waiting for rates to drop, and every key indicator is indicating that they're not. From Goldman Sachs to what's another big, it doesn't really matter, all these really rich, fancy thingies. Everybody's saying rates might drop to 6.25 to 6.5. And shockingly, NAR, National Association of Realtors, says it's going to drop to 5.8 or 5.75 or whatever. They're pie in the sky. That's probably not going to happen. How does all of this tie into when should I sell my home? Back to the original question that we asked 17 years ago. Is after the Super Bowl the right time to list my property? In a general sense, yes. We tell people that if you're not on the market probably 6 weeks before Thanksgiving, more than likely, depending upon your scenario, which is very specific to you, we should probably wait until after the Super Bowl. Unless, of course, you're in that other area that's over here that I would say list on December 24th. See what I'm trying to get at here? So every scenario is different, but we as real estate agents say the start of spring is after the Super Bowl. Now, if you're a consumer and you say I'm going to wait till spring, I'm gonna ask you this. So I'm gonna go a little bit behind the curtain here. We have something that we call a timeline. Okay, it's not like a timeline. Anybody can say the word. What we want to do is we want to reverse engineer when you want to be into your next home. So you as a seller, say you want to be in your home July 1st. Okay, well, is now too soon to list my property? Well, I'm actually going to do this here. Say today you call me up, I come out to your house, you say, yep, William, let's go ahead and get this done. Well, guess what? It takes 10 business days at a minimum to get your property properly ready to market. Do you have your house decluttered? Do you have all your personal belongings done? Is everything cleared off your deck? Is your home ready for photos? Is there any dog smells or cat smells that we have to get rid of? How's the paint looking? How's the carpet looking? What are the light fixtures looking like? Wait, I have to do all that? Yeah, you do actually. So it takes a minimum of 10 business days to get your property to market. So that's 2 weeks. So let's just say, okay, now we're in January, February, we're at March 1. Sweet. March 1st, dun, 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 let's go. March 1st, let's just pretend it's on a Friday, okay? I'm just making this up. We have open houses scheduled. We've called everybody. We've door knocked. We got all the signs and banners out. It's March in Minnesota. Guess what's going to happen? We're probably going to get a snowstorm. So guess what happens your opening weekend? It gets shot to shit. Nobody comes because we get 19 inches of snow. That's all gone in 3 days. So now we're going to say, now let's say second weekend on the market, we do get an offer. All right, cool. Now we're March 15th. We're under contract March 15th. I should probably be ready to move. Yeah, you should, but hold on. Now we have to find your house. Now, this is assuming everything goes fine. That's assuming we get through inspection fine. That's assuming we get through appraisal fine. That's assuming the buyer doesn't change their mind. A lot of shit happens. I've said this before. You don't pay me to sell your house. You pay me to get it to close. And there's a lot of shit that happens in between A and Z. Just telling you. Say this one goes smoothly. March 15th, and they're gonna ask for let's say a 60-day close. So March to April, April to May. So now we're looking at May 15th, and you just told me you wanted to be in June 1st. June 1st. That's assuming we can find you the house that you want to close on in 60 days. Let's say it takes you 30 days to get to your property. So now we're March 15th, March to April. So now we're April 15th. And now we say, hey, you guys, we need 45 days to close. Now we're June 15th. Well, I wanted to be in by June 1st. Too bad. So it's February 15th. It is completely logical to think that if you signed a contract with me right now, you wouldn't be moving until the first half of June. When we are talking about when's the right time to sell, when does spring start, how does this work, a good listing agent isn't going to talk about now, they're going to talk about then. When do you want to be in your house? Okay, let's work backwards from then. That's going to give us a realistic timeline of what's going on. Now, let's say that you're a condo owner and you want to be in somewhere by June. It's not going to happen unless you fire sale your property, take a loss on it, screw over the entire building, which it happened. It happened to us at a what's the next to the one happened to us at the Legacy. We had somebody build $1 million plus condo in the Legacy. There were 3 units left to go for sale. The developer passed away. The executors of the will fire saled the 3 remaining units 30 to 40% below market value, dropped the entire building's value by 30 to 40% per square foot overnight. Over freaking night. Screwed. In a single family home, something like that can happen, but we can also count that as an outlier and not call it as an arm's length transaction. In a condo building, they might say it's not an arm's length transaction, but now I'm getting into some weeds here, but it's just not. So back to if you're a condo, you're kind of screwed. Townhome, depends on where. Really depends on where and the location. What does the HOA look like? Because anything that has an HOA, homeowners association, is really getting put through the ringer right now. We focus primarily on single family homes. We do some luxury condos as well. That's why I can tell you they're kind of screwed. I've talked about buying power checklist. I'm talking about our timeline here. There's a lot of stuff that goes into being a professional agent and understanding when quote unquote the market of spring starts is totally dependent upon your specific situation. And once again, the 60s, diamonds, divorce, death, degrees, diapers, and doggies. I added the 6th one because I love puppies. And we literally bought our house because of our dogs. It's another time, another story. So I hope you found this valuable. Like, subscribe, comment, all that shit. I really, really appreciate you. And I want to connect on this. If you're a real estate agent and you would like to talk more about this, reach out. If you're a consumer who is looking for an opinion on their property on when they should market it and go on the market to sell and get the highest dollar, totally can do that too. And just so you know, last 7 days here in Minnesota, we have 337 coming soon in the last 7 days, which means they're available to view online, but they're not available to view in person. We have 1,479 new listings. We have 127 that came off the market, came back on the market. 837 took a price decrease. That's new, everybody. Several years ago, price decreases were not a thing. Agents are not keeping up with the times and pricing a property properly to get it to move in a reasonable time. Freaking whole different story right there. 76 increased their price. That means they probably just listed it wrong and then increased it, or they were in multiple offers, accepted an offer above their list price, and then just changed their list price to the accepted offer price. 1,148 went pending, which means an offer was placed on them. They went through negotiation and they went through inspection. Now they're just waiting for appraisal and or to close. 790 closed, 237 canceled, and 191 expired. That's interesting right there. That's telling me that over 400 properties either canceled or expired, which means they didn't sell and wanted to sell, or they decided not to sell in general. That's a lot. I did not see that coming. And that's all single family right there. All right, everybody, that's all I got. I love you all very, very much. Be safe out there. We out. Deuces.